Hello everybody, it is KillerKizza here, and this is going to be a video on Warrior Burst, techniques and what to do in RPGs, talents, glyphs, just everything about Arms Warriors. Now, if this gets 5 likes, I will be making a video on Protection Warrior, because as many Arms Warriors, or Fury, if you're a Fury, which I don't know why you are in PvP, for many Arms Warriors, that Arms is not very viable in the RPGs right now because we're so bad right now. I'll be honest. Arms Warriors are very bad right now. But Protection, we are one of the best FCs out there right now, so we gotta be proud of that. So yeah, let's get right into this. For talents, level 15 talents, double time. Level 15 talents for a warrior, this is personal preference most of the time. You know, maybe in 2s and 3s you would want Warbringer, and for Warbringer you could pair it up with Glyph of Blitz, which stuns 2 other enemies around you. You could pair it up in many ways. I like double time because warriors don't have a moving and pairing effect break. We don't have something that gets us out of snares or stuff like that, except Safeguard, which is, you can use that and you'll get out of all moving and pairing effects, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. So I choose double time so I can get quickly across a 2's arena or RPGs very quickly. I choose Juggernaut when I'm in Prot, but like I said, do the Prot videos later. And obviously Warriors, Second Wind. You need Second Wind. You're not going to get in any PvP situations. You're not going to get in 2's, 3's, 5's, RPGs, nothing without Second Wind. 45 talents. This is another one. I like Piercing Howl. I love Piercing Howl because it slows everybody around me. But I'm thinking about this as I say. Staggering Shout is really good because it does not break from damage like other roots do. Disrupting Shout would be very, very viable in some group fights, maybe with Chaos Bolts coming in. Just use that. But I like Piercing Out because I hate it when people run away from me. Like I said, warriors don't have moving and pairing breaks, so if you're 1v1ing someone like a lock, he's always gonna get away from you. Yeah. So, and even Piercing Howl with Blade Storm, even you can use Piercing Howl while in Blade Storm. So while you're Blade Storming, use Piercing Howl, and your enemy will never get away from you unless they're like a mage and they can blink out of it. But that's different. So on to Blade Storm and Shockwave and Dragon's Roar. Dragon's Roar, do not use that. A Dragon's Roar is basically just a Mortal Strike crit. It is useless. Yes, it knocks them back for 0.5 seconds, but you don't need that, especially if you're a Tauren. Just use your War Stomp. That's for 2 seconds too. I don't even, yeah, 2 seconds. Jeez, 5 enemies. I didn't even see that. So other than that, Shockwave and Blade Storm would be probably the most viable. Blade Storm is actually really, really good in RPGs. Many people don't know that, or I'm probably gonna get hated for that because I said that, but I love it because if you are good enough geared and you pop all your cooldowns, Blade Storm won't do a lot of damage unless you have all your cooldowns. So if you go and run into a group fight in a BG, RBG, 3s, no doubt you will get everybody in that group who you were Blade Storming in down past 50%, and it's just a great pressure move to put on AoE. Shockwave, it's Shockwave, 3 second stun on 40 seconds. It used to be on 20 seconds, but now it's on 40, which makes me mad because Blizzard hates warriors. So I still use Shockwave in 2s because the 3 seconds is enough for me to pop my burst and get some Mortal Strikes off and get my overpower stacks. And that's it for level 60 talents. Level 75. I want to say this first. All these techniques I'm going to do, the techniques I'm going to show later in this video, but at the moment, level 75 talents. Vigilance, you do not want that in PvP. If you choose Vigilance, that's a waste of 2 really, really good things. Now, I switch constantly between Mass Spell Reflect and Safeguard because Mass Spell Reflect, if their team has a bunch of spellcasters, then I will use Mass Spell Reflect, just for the sheer fact of if a lock is casting Chaos Bolt, it'll show me in the corner. I got warning add-ons that will show me when a Chaos Bolt is being casted. I'll pop a Mass Spell Reflect. All my teammates and me are protected from that Chaos Bolt, and if you reflect stuff back, it actually does a lot of damage. Safeguard, I would use Safeguard if you want to peel. I would choose Safeguard and Stormbolt together if you want to peel a healer really hard. Someone's dying. If your team isn't the best geared, I would take Safeguard to protect your healers, because that 20% decrease damage for 6 seconds on a healer, that's really nice. And if like a melee's on him, Stormbolt will help really much. Really, it will help a lot. For 90 talents, Avatar and Bloodbath Stormbolt. These Stormbolt is only viable for peels. That's what it is. It's peels. But it actually is really good. 3-second stun, combine that with a shockwave, combine with a war stomp, combine with other CCs. Even though it would get I forgot what DR'd. Yeah, that's what it's called. DR'd really fast. It's still a stun, which is still good. So if you want epic peels on healers, again, if you're lower geared, take that. Avatar and Bloodbath. Now, Avatar, I like Avatar because warriors. I don't want to say we have no damage, because that's not true. We have a lot of damage. Let's just say I use Avatar every time I have 5 stacks of overpower, because then I will just poop on kids. It's the only way to explain it. Avatar's really good. I would choose Bloodbath if it didn't do 30% damage as bleed from special attacks. 'Cause I don't like that. Do not like that. Even though it does slow them too, which is actually very nice. I never saw that before. I guess Bloodbath could be viable, but Avatar, the damage, and it breaks our roots. That goes along with it's 24 seconds too, so that's a lot. That's our only root breaking move along with Safeguard, except it's 3-minute cooldown. Other classes have one that's like 10-second cooldown, which is ridiculous. I was just saying Berserk. Okay, on to Glyphs. Now, warrior Glyphs are purely, what is the word for it? Personal. You change it however fits your gameplay. For me, I use Blitz. You charge stuns an additional 2 targets nearby, and if you can combine Warbringer, which makes it a 3-second stun, and your Blitz will stun 2 other people for 3 seconds also. That's really good to pair up with, but like I said before, I like going around the map really fast, so I chose Blitz. Glyph of Bull Rush, ever since Overpower now costs Rage for this patch, 5.2, I need all the Rage I can get, because it sucks getting Rage, it really does. I need all the Rage I can get, and double charge. You can't get the Rage again once you use it, so you can't get you can't charge, throw, clip away, charge, and get twice the amount of Rage. You can only get it once. So it's 15 Rage is still good, because on top of that you already get 35. Well, you get like 20 Rage, but plus the 15, you get 35. Glyph of Death from Above. This used to increase the damage of Heroic Leap, but still, Heroic Leap is a great peel. You can get to your healers faster. You can line of sight people if you want to heal up yourself with Second Wind. I would strongly prefer having Glyph of Death from Above up there. That's really good. Other ones, Glyph of Colossus Smash. I would not recommend using that, just for the sheer fact of someone else, like a rogue, would probably put Shudder Effect on better than you, or Sunder Armor, Shudder, I don't know. Do not use Glyph of Die by Sword, because it is not good, and you don't want to use it. Glyph of Hamstring, I would not use this, because Hamstring is only 7 Rage, I believe. Yeah, it's 10 Rage, but if you have the socket bonus from any PvP gear, it will cost 7 Rage, and that's not that much. That's a prot, that's a protection. Hindering Strikes is actually really good if you do not want to use Piercing Howl, which AoE slow, or you don't want to use Hamstring, then I would strongly advise you using Cleave with this. That would be very nice. Glyph of Long Charge, that's another good peel move, but 5 yards doesn't really matter to me unless you're dueling a DK or a warrior, and I guess it matters. This matters in 2s. Glyph of Mortal Strike. In 2s, this is really good, because you're always keeping Mortal Strike debuff on your enemy. So 10% healing to you wouldn't be too bad. That's for Fury. Do not use Glyph of Recklessness. You will die. It's terrible. It reduces ugh. It's gross. That's all it is. Shield Slam, not using that. Not go for Shield Wall if you want survivability. I guess you could take that. Sweeping Strikes, you can take that if you have trouble gaining rage and you actually use Sweeping Strikes. Which if you don't use Sweeping Strikes, you really should, because it is amazing. Unending Rage, you never even have time to build up 120 rage. I mean, you never have time to build up 100 rage, so you're not going to spend more time building up 120. That's useless. That won't happen. Glyph of Victory Rush increases the total healing provided of Victory. This is good for if your team isn't that geared and you want to help out your healers a bit. This is something you should do. You should easily take that. Glyph of Whirlwind, it doesn't apply to us. We don't use Whirlwind. Any of the other ones in here, do not use. I didn't even bother buying them. Actually, this one actually, using Demoralizing Shout, that's for protection. Never mind. I thought that was gonna be for arms. And minor glyphs. Don't get Mystic Shout because it floats you in the air for 1 second, and if you use that in combat, you get stunned for 1 second, basically. It's really stupid. I hate it. So just use those. Now, on to some techniques. Alright, now on to the technique burst side of the video. I'm also going to be showing what these moves do in case you are thinking about playing a warrior. When playing a warrior, there's not much to know. Just what I already told you, and there's not many good techniques you can use for a warrior, because all our moves are kind of self-explanatory. You got charge, it charges at a person. You can't really do that in any fancy way unless you have double time. Double time is one of the most amazing things for 2s. You see, I have a macro. I'm gonna show my macros right now. No. My macro is charge / focus target charge, and what that does is I charge to my focus target. So I'm going to set this target as my focus, and I have double charge, so I can do this twice. So say this star is the DPS, and this cross is the healer. I want to go to the DPS, so I will charge to the DPS, stun the DPS, and then go charge to there. I didn't even target him. I actually hit Piercing Howl on accident. So that would stun the DPS, and that would give me 3 seconds. 3 seconds to attack and blow my burst on the healer, which is 3 seconds of burst is actually a really, really good thing, trust me. Now on to my macros. My macros are not a lot. I just have slash assist. Slash assist would be that's your target caller. You put your target caller's name in there. Just have it on your bars somewhere. Where is it? 8. I have my 8. Just put your target caller's name in there and you'll be good. This is the slash cast focus target charge for the healer thing in 2s, or even arenas if you're always putting pressure on one healer in team fights. I mean in RBGs, if you're putting pressure on one healer the whole time, set him as your focus, start charging at him every time it's up. And of course my burst macro. I have all my burst, everything in my burst right here, because I like to know when it's up, even though I have Doom cooldown pulse. Or I would click these over here. I do not click any of my spells. I do not click. I'm not a clicker except my Hearthstone. I usually never use any of these unless it's my full burst up, because like I said, warriors don't do amazing amount of damage. So one thing to do is this is literally all you do. The macro concedes of recklessness, avatar, skull banner, and my trinket. And never have, you can't, I don't think they've patched this or anything, but you're not allowed to shift click skull banner in there. So if your skull banner isn't popping when you pop your macro, you have to actually type out on your own /cast skull banner. You actually have to type it out. You can't just go in here and go to it like that. It'll say it, but it won't. You won't be able to allowed to use it. So with that point, I am going to pop my burst. So hopefully it's actually going to do a lot of damage. Because I don't want to. Okay, here we go. So I'll charge, I'll heroic leap away, I'll charge again, and pop my cooldowns, then start using everything. I'll use, see how I ran out of rage right there? I don't even have my backup. Let's get some rage. Every time you exceed, see I went to 87 rage right there, and I spam heroic strike along with my slams. Always apply Colossus Smash when it procs, and just keep going like that. Now, you always want to pop Die by Sword along with Mass Spell Reflect if you see it coming, because sometimes if you don't get a Mass Spell Reflect off in time and a Chaos Bull is coming at you or an Ice Lance is coming at you, you will take 20% damage from that ice block. And always when you're fighting a mage, pop a, well, this is only for a mage, or frost mage. This is only for a frost mage. Right when you start the fight, use Die by Sword, because no matter what mage you're fighting, frost mages are greedy as hell, and they will just deep freeze you and start bursting on you. And right when you get deep freezed, they deep freeze right away, usually. If they don't, then they're not a very good frost mage. Then your Die by Sword will up and you'll take 20% less damage from all of it. And of course, on top of everything, the sucky defensive stance. This got nerfed for warriors. It used to decrease damage taken by 25%, but apparently warriors would never die, so it was reduced to 15%. And usually I would sit in that stance, but now since they took that away, I want to get more rage, so I use this. That about does it for my kind of warrior showing you how to play it kind of thing, how to set up, and just the basics. Now obviously this is all my opinion, and some of it is actually facts of what you have to follow to be a good warrior in RPGs, but most of it is my opinion. So if you like this video, just like it. Obviously if you like it, like it. And I will be doing more for a mage, a holy paladin, for all my 90s I have, monk, everything. Alright guys, thank you for watching, subscribe, and have a nice day.